So what's going on, guys? DIY Dan again, and today we're going to go over how I built this dog kennel. I actually built this thing before I did a YouTube channel, so I'm just going to kind of give you an overview of how I did it. Now the cool thing about this dog kennel is, if you notice the doggy door right there, the dogs have access in and out of the house, but I don't have to worry about them tearing up my house because they are in a dog kennel, all right? And the other cool thing is, let's say I want to move this kennel down this direction for whatever reason. All I got to do is pull these 5 rods out and put them where these 5 are missing, okay? And that goes for anywhere along this. They can go on either side, all right? Also, you notice these 3 are missing right now. Well, we were on vacation recently, and I wanted to give the dogs a little bit more room while we were on vacation. So I pulled these 3 rods out and put another kennel behind it so they had double the room. So the basic construction of this is the flooring is a 3/4 inch piece of plywood, and this is a piece of an old Rubbermaid shed flooring that I put on top of here that I had. But the main floor is 3/4 inch piece of plywood. I did put casters under it because this kennel is very heavy. So the casters are anchored with screws into the 3/4 inch piece of plywood. The main uprights are 2x4s. So the upper and lower rails that hold the rods are made out of 2x2s. And I clamped those together and drilled all the holes through both of them at the same time. And that just made sure that my rods were going to line up perfectly straight. And I did that for all 3 sides. I did notch the 2x4 up here so I could set the top rail on top of that. Okay. Everything on this is screwed and glued. So the upper rail for the front is actually screwed from this direction through the 2x4 into the 2x2. And then I've got pallet material for the exterior on all of it that is just glued and tack nailed for a rustic look, okay? The door was all made out of 2x2s. It is actually screwed and glued also. All right, now obviously I didn't want the holes showing through, so these are only drilled about halfway on the bottom and the top for the rods. I did use door hinges, and the reason I used door hinges is because if I ever need to take this door off for whatever reason, all I got to do is pull 2 pins and the door will come right off. I used a little piece of 2x4, 2x2 for a door stop, so if they come barging in and the door is open, it won't come back and hit my wall. I did put an extra 2x2 on here to handle my latch so I can anchor all 3 of my screws into my latch. So the only other thing is this, I did put a piece of steel here underneath the door because that's where the dogs are always stepping. I didn't want it messing up the wood. So I did do that, and that's just got a couple screws if I need to take it off for whatever reason. I did one right where I have the doggy door right now as well. And that's the same story. I've got the holes for the rods underneath this, so if I did need to move it for whatever reason, I unscrew these 2 screws, pull that off, and I can adjust it as needed. So as far as the lid goes, it's also a 3/4 inch piece of plywood. I used heavy duty hinges, and I did recess the hinges down into the top a little bit here, just so the lid's sat flatter. And then again, I used pallet material with brad nails and some glue to finish it off. And these do fit a little tight. I wish I would have done 9/16 holes instead of 1/2 inch. Just to make it a little easier to take them in and out. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this project, and hope to see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Later.